Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Buck Roll. Alright, I got just kind of an odd little thing we're going to do today. I don't actually have a single topic for today's vlog. What I'm going to do instead is I got just a couple little things that I need to do. They're simple little projects, and we're going to try and blast through all four of them today. Let me show you what I got planned. Now, if you watched my last vlog, you knew I drove down to Lampasas to pick up my clock that had been in the shop for the last year and a half. And I also stopped at this really cool statuary place and got this great giant Venus flytrap. My plan is to put it out here in the front yard, kind of right among all the normal looking stuff, so maybe people wouldn't even notice what it is, and wouldn't even recognize that there's something odd here until they actually came up and saw this thing. But if it's going to hold up and keep the colors and all that, I want to make sure it's protected from the sun and from the elements that will be out here. So I want to clean this thing up really well, because already just in a couple of days that I've had it, it's got some dust on it. So I want to get it all cleaned up really well. And then I'm going to put a clear coating on it like I did with those faces in the backyard. I think that'll help this thing last for a long time. Next thing I want to do is something a little bit more permanent here. About 2 or 3 years ago, there was a tree in this location in my front yard, and in fact, a lot of it had died because we had a real strong drought that summer and it couldn't get enough water. A lot of it died, and I was concerned that it was going to fall down, and then a big windstorm came and most of it did come down. So I ended up cutting it off and just leaving a stump there, hoping, well, sometimes stumps are kind of cool, right? But this one wasn't cool. It just rotted away and got really ugly, and I just decided a couple weeks ago I was just going to pull it out. So I got this little bit of a hole here, and I want to try and put a little bit better soil in here, kind of fill it in, smooth it up a little bit, and get it to the point where the grass can start feeding in and filling in on this area here. So that's part of our project today. The next thing I want to do is finish up the disassembly of this pool. Basically, I removed the walls. I've taken all the stuff that I think can maybe be saved and put it over here. And so if we rebuild it, we can use that stuff again. I've taken the stuff like the walls and a lot of the framework and stuff like that that's really rusty and dirty and yucky and all that, and I put that in the trailer. We're going to haul that off to the dump. So like I said, I think the last thing I want to do is get the rest of the pool liner here into the trailer, and it's kind of heavy, so I'm going to have to chop it into about 2 or 3 parts. So that's another thing I want to do today. I do want to make a statement about something. When people saw me disassemble the pool a couple of videos back, a lot of people drew the wrong conclusion that I'd finally given up on the pool. That isn't the case at all. The pool had to be removed whether I replaced it with another pool or with something else, and I was just tired of that eyesore, so I decided to pull it out. And we can still go either way. I'll admit I am leaning towards getting rid of the pool a little bit, but decision hasn't been made one way or another. So just wanted to let you know. And the fourth thing I wanted to do today was kind of inspired by last week's live stream. Somebody asked me if I'd been down to the lake in a while and what the lake level was. And I admitted I hadn't been there for a while. And so, I don't know if you remember the story. We've had a drought here for the last few years, and the lake level was really, really low. In fact, I did a number of vlogs where I came down here and saw how low the lake level was. Now, it's receded back a little bit from what its high point was. This past May, we had a really, really wet winter, or wet spring, and it completely filled up the lake again. It actually filled it up to overflowing to the point where they were actually opening the dam at the low end and to try and lower the water level, because it was like up to here. And so this is kind of overflow level. It's down quite a bit. It probably should be like kind of where this bar is right here. So it's down a couple feet, but it's nowhere near what it was, a couple years ago, or even last year at this time. So there's the lake. It's back, retreated back. Looks like about 3 or 4 feet, but it definitely isn't to the bad location it was. Way out there just 6 or 8 months ago. So there you go. That's your Lake Waco status update. All right, so I'm back from Home Depot, and I got a big bag of basically soil for underbed for a lawn or for sod or for all that. So this should patch the area really well. I have St. Augustine grass in here, and St. Augustine is really, really well suited for the temperature extremes that you can get in the south, and it should actually not take it long for it to completely take over this area now that we got a nice fertile growing area for it to go. I've been over it with the lawnmower already, so it's smooth enough that I'm not going to be digging stuff up. So hopefully over time this will settle down a little bit, be perfectly flat, and take over with the and filling in with the lawn here. And so it's just a waiting game now, and we'll catch up with you in a while and see what happens. All those plants I planted a few weeks ago, they're still doing very, very well. Got some new shoots of green on this, so that's encouraging. I'm looking forward to these three, especially seeing what they'll do, because they're supposed to be like big column-like plants. It'll be like 2 feet in diameter and 8 feet tall. So I'm kind of hoping that they'll provide a little privacy on the porch here and kind of fill this in, make it almost like a wall going in here. That'll turn on the intrigue when people come up and see the Venus flytrap, which is going to be right here, by the way. And I took this thing out in the front yard, gave it a nice rinse off, and cleaned everything off. So as soon as we dry it out a little bit, we'll be able to start with the clear coating on it. Now that the thing has had a little time to dry off a bit, I've hit it with a couple of coats of the clear coat. Now I just got kind of a matte finish on this, not a real glossy finish, because I don't want to make the thing more shiny. I kind of want to just kind of protect what's there, protect the coloring, make sure it doesn't rust out. And both of those should be protected with this, because this thing looks awesome just the way it is, and I want it to continue to look good in the yard for hopefully a few years to come. Oh, look at there, it's Flash here to greet the new completely cleaned out swimming pool. Yeah, we got it all out of there, got the liner cut up and into little pieces and got it over there onto the trailer. So some point either maybe later this week or next week sometime, I'll get that over the dump and get rid of all that. It's good to get it out of here. Now I can start imagining what comes next. Like I said, it might be another pool, it might be something else, but now I got kind of a blank slate to look at. So looking forward to this. Let's figure out what we're gonna do. All right, so we finally got this guy clear coated and into the ground. This is kind of where I want it to be. You remember, this is just all around all sorts of normal stuff that may flower or may not flower. And anyone kind of looks here, they might just think, oh, that's just some other weird plant, until they get up here and look at this thing. And yeah, I know, I like to keep people off guard a little bit. So I thought that looked really cool, and that's gonna be really great right there by my front door. Greeting anybody who comes to visit. So anyway, that's all that I have for today. Hope you enjoyed this one. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.